We don't know. We also don't have a ranking or a rating. In the past, we knew that we were distinguished or that a district was proficient or that different schools were needs improvement. Now we don't have any of that information.
It will get back, it will get back to something like that.
It will get back to something like that, but part of Senate Bill 1 for Kentucky and also for Kentucky's request for ESSA and the federal government is that we have taken away the competition part of the accountability and are going more to a cooperation, collaborative form. So that way you have 1 through 5 stars, and so you will get an overall rating. But you'll never really know if you're the top or you're the last or in the middle somewhere, unless you know, there are people who will still look at all those scores and try to come up with some sort of rating system.
I shouldn't ask you if that is good or bad. I shouldn't ask you to rate it. I won't do that. What you would say to parents what with the change?
Well, I would say to parents that while it's nice to know you're number 1 or number 2 or number 3, instead I would look at some of the numbers to see what are the percentage of students overall in each school and each district that are reaching that proficient or distinguished level. And maybe even more important, are we decreasing the number of students that are scoring on the low level? Because we still get that information. So you can look at a school and see the percentage that are scoring at that very bottom, which is a novice. And I would also say, look at that over time. Because on the school report card, you can go back and see how that school has been doing over the last 5 years or so. And you want to see, are the numbers going up for your school or district? And are those novice numbers going down? And that's really the most important part.
And I know this would be apples and oranges, but the first thing I think of is just last week or within the last 2 weeks, we did a similar story about Ohio. And, you know, Cincinnati Public Schools, they had D's and F's. And in reality, I mean, I support public education. So in reality, we know that there are some great kids, great teachers, great schools in CPS. But you look at these grades and you want to go leap off of something because it, right. So it, from my perspective, digging down into the numbers for any parent if they're interested would seem to be better, even though the letter grade is easier.
Absolutely, and that's where you're going to put, you know, real students. You're really going to look at that as opposed to these arbitrary numbers, because all of these systems have been created by committees or groups that haven't really tried them out yet. And so you're not quite sure if a D really means, what does that really mean? And so if we can dig down instead to look at how our students, more students achieving at a higher level, because as you said, you could have a school that maybe is at a 2-star or a D level, but they're doing great things for students. And they're actually increasing the number of students that are proficient. So that's why it's always important to dig deeper and to look more specifically at reading, at math, at social studies, at writing, and see how the school's performing for students.